For years, everyone assumed Doc Shaw had simply faded away. Like many child stars before him, people thought he was just another name lost to time. But now, at 33, he's finally speaking out, and what he's revealing has stunned even the most loyal fans of House of Payne. His story isn't just about what happened on screen, but what was going on when the cameras weren't rolling. This isn't the clean, polished Hollywood version. This is real. This is raw. And it's a wake-up call for the entire industry before he ever set foot on the famous Tyler Perry Studios lot. Laramie Doc Shaw was a kid with a dream and talent to match. Born in Atlanta, raised in a culture rich with history and community. He was modeling before most kids even knew what a photo shoot was. Then, at just 14, he landed the role that would make him a household name, Malik Payne. His character wasn't just comic relief, he was a symbol of young black excellence, navigating tough issues with wit and heart. House of Payne wasn't just a hit, was a cultural cornerstone. Families gathered around the TV to laugh, cry, and see their own lives reflected back at them. And right in the center of it was Doc Shaw. For years, he was beloved. But then something started to change. As the show moved into later seasons, his role began to shrink. His energy on screen shifted. His physical appearance changed. And then, almost suddenly, he was gone. There was no farewell, no explanation, just silence. Fans speculated endlessly. Was he sick? Did something happen between him and Tyler Perry? Had Hollywood simply turned its back on him? Doc never said a word, till now, in a rare, deeply emotional interview, Doc laid everything bare. His story. It's about more than just a kid leaving a show. It's about what it feels like to be celebrated for your image, but neglected as a person. He shared how the pressures of fame, the unrealistic expectations, and the lack of emotional support slowly chipped away at him. At a time when he should have been enjoying success, he was battling silent demons. He admitted something that many suspected, but few knew for sure. The noticeable weight gain during the later seasons wasn't just about food. It was about depression. He was struggling under the surface, using eating as a way to cope with the anxiety, stress, and isolation that came with child stardom. The glitz and glamour faded quickly when no one behind the scenes asked if he was okay. No one stepped in when he was visibly suffering. Not the producers, not the crew. Just whispered comments and behind-the-scenes jokes. It's a harsh reminder that Hollywood often values the product more than the people producing it. Doc was the funny, lovable teen until he no longer fit the image in. Then the spotlight dimmed. Casting calls stopped coming. Social media turned cruel. And in that silence, he began to disappear, not just from television, but from himself. But what's incredible is how he chose to respond. Rather than spiral, Doc stepped away on purpose. He sought therapy. He found a health coach. He'd lost over 60 pounds, not for Hollywood, but for himself. He began practicing mindfulness, learning how to eat better, live better, and think better. But more importantly, he started seeing himself outside the role of Malik. For the first time, he wasn't performing. He was living. And once he was grounded again, he knew it was time to speak out. Not just for closure, but for change. In that same interview, he shared his feelings about working under Tyler Perry's massive entertainment empire. And while he expressed gratitude for the opportunity, he didn't hold back about the pain that followed. He credited Perry for giving him his big break, calling him a visionary and a trailblazer. But he also spoke of feeling invisible, how once the show took off and the pressures increased, his personal needs began to fade into the background. He tried to advocate for himself, to ask for space, for mental health support, even just a pause. But his words fell on deaf ears. Doc said it wasn't that Tyler hated him. It's that he became irrelevant once he stopped making people laugh. That's a powerful and heartbreaking statement. He recounted one particular moment during the show's revival that really hit him hard. Malik, once the smart and ambitious kid of the show, was now reduced to a caricature. Doc didn't even recognize the role he once loved. was the moment he knew he had to walk away. He wrote a letter expressing his discomfort. That letter was never acknowledged. He stopped going to press events. He started quietly pulling back. And not once, he says, did he hear from Tyler Perry himself? Not even a check-in. For someone who saw Perry as a mentor, that silence said everything. Doc's story isn't about revenge. It's about finally being heard. It's about accountability. He doesn't want pity. He wants the industry to do better. To treat young actors, especially black ones, not as disposable tools, but as people who need care, guidance, and respect. After leaving the spotlight, Doc didn't just fade away. He enrolled in college. He studied business and media strategy, not because he wanted to abandon entertainment, but because he wanted to understand how to build something better. He wanted to tell stories that mattered. On his terms, he launched a media platform focused on honest, powerful Black storytelling. He began working with nonprofits, helping other young creatives understand mental health, fame, and how to protect themselves emotionally. His new goal? To become the mentor he never had. He also began speaking to students, young performers, and community groups, telling them it's okay to pause. It's okay to take care of yourself first. His mission isn't about becoming famous. Again, it's about helping others avoid the pain he had to endure in silence. And now, Doc is returning to the screen, but with a purpose. He's developing a docu-series that brings together former child stars to discuss what really happens after the cameras stop, a blend of truth, healing, and storytelling. It's a space he never had but now wants to create for others. Perhaps most touching of all, Doc shared how he found peace through his faith not in organized religion, but through a personal journey. With God, that quiet connection helped him realize he was more than just a character, more than what people thought of him. He was worthy of love, healing, and purpose. He made it clear, this isn't about attacking Tyler Perry. It's about making sure the system doesn't keep failing the next generation of talent. He's not looking for apologies, he's building something new. Doc Shaw isn't just surviving, it's thriving, but in a quiet, intentional way. He isn't chasing validation from an industry that once ignored his pain. He's creating change, starting with himself. His story is one of strength, not weakness. Walking away wasn't failure, it was freedom. And in an industry that often forgets the people behind the roles, Doc's voice cuts through with truth and grace. If you ever wondered what happened to Malik from House of Payne, now you know. He grew up. He went through the storm. He came out the other side stronger, wiser, and with something to say. And maybe that's what we all need to hear, not just the entertainment, but the truth behind it. Because every laugh track hides a real person. And sometimes the most powerful story is the one they weren't allowed to tell, till now.